What a great test match. The best thing about Kohli almost leading India to victory is that maybe by Brisbane, Channel 9 will have worked out just who it is Australia is actually playing.
Do we try and get a look at the Pakistan top order tonight?
At least James Brayshaw, though, had the excuse that his was a slip of the tongue. I have no such defence. I told everyone before the match that Nathan Lyon should be dropped. I sent out this tweet, which I thought was particularly funny, with the caption, "Nathan Lyon after bowling a dot ball to Kohli." Of course, when the actual match occurred, here's what happened when Lyon bowled to Kohli.
Oh, it's in the air! He's under it! Got it! There it is! Can you believe it, Mitchell Marsh? The smile, is that the game? Is it all over now as Australia got it? Nathan Lyon strikes. Mitch Marsh hangs on to one. Virat Kohli, he cannot believe it.
So, with 12 wickets and a man of the match performance, Nathan Lyon has conclusively proven me wrong, and I'd probably just about pick him in the next test match. But back to Channel 9. I've always loved Channel 9's cricket coverage, and I particularly enjoy it once 6 o'clock hits on the eastern coast of Australia and the cricket is still going, because this is news time. Now, if you're not from Australia, you mightn't be aware that Channel 9 isn't a sports station. They're just a regular network station, and they are in a massive ratings battle with their arch rival Channel 7. And the key to ratings success in Australia is the 6 PM news. TV executives have a theory that all Australians get so drunk that by about 6 PM they're no longer able to operate their remote control. And so whatever station it's on at 6, that's the station it'll be on for the entire night. So you can imagine Channel 9's fury when the cricket lags on, and they can imagine viewers the length and breadth of the country turning on to see the Channel 9 news and seeing the cricket and thinking, what's this? And switching across to Channel 7 and never coming back. So Channel 9 has two solutions. One, they're very careful about which commentators they allow into the box after 6 PM. In other words, no Ian Chappell. And two, they tell the commentators who are there to make the cricket seem overwhelmingly exciting. Take day 4 of this test match, for example. 5:30 in Adelaide, which is 6 o'clock in the big centres of Sydney and Melbourne, so it's news time. But the cricket has another half hour to go. Australia are batting, and it's really too late in the day for them to declare. And furthermore, if you have a look, you can see that Nathan Lyon and Ryan Harris are sitting there in shorts, and they're not going to be bowling anytime soon. And Brad Haddin, the next man to bat, well, he's got his pads on and he's in his whites. So there's not going to be a declaration today, but Michael Slater suggests it anyway.
Can we see a declaration in the next 5 to 10 minutes? That would give them 20 minutes.
Oh, it would be brave. I reckon Australia have got enough runs. I think 300 batting.
But would you declare?
No.
You can hear from the responses of Mark Nicholas, who basically laughs at him, and Mark Taylor, that they realise that there's no chance of a declaration either. But Slater gives it one more go.
So you're saying no? Mark Nicholas, no?
Well, no, you wouldn't risk it, not at the start of a series.
And that should have been that, but it wasn't. Now at this point I like to imagine that the producer came running into the commentary box and said, "Fellas, Aussies want to see Mitchell Johnson bowl tonight. Let's just make it up. Let's say there's a possibility of a declaration. We've got to stop people switching to Channel 7. And so the commentators respond accordingly.
So I tell you what, it's tempting.
It's gone to 300, so it's, it's not a, we don't rule it out, not yet.
Just a sneaky 20 minutes. Try and search for 1 or 2 wickets.
But then Taylor regresses. He can't help himself from pointing out the obvious.
The fact that Ryan Harris is down there with his green gear on suggests to me they're not going to declare.
Now in my imagination, the producer's now actively slapping Taylor on the head and bringing him back into line.
If you've declared now and you had India 2 for 10 or 15 stumps, it's brilliant. It's a great declaration. The declaration's not out of the equation just yet.
Even Slater, the man who suggested it, is now giggling about it. Yet still they continue.
You said you wanted 330, that's only 23 more.
We've got, what, about 27 minutes left in the day's play.
So, 27 minutes left to score 23 runs, declare and have the 10-minute innings break. Really?
Yeah, it might be. Look, we'll declare overnight. Let's just get as many as we can tonight.
Finally, even Slats can't bear it anymore. Surely this is the end of it. No, keep going, keep going.
You can't help but put yourself in the shoes of the two Indian opening batsmen, Murali Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan, who will also be thinking like we're thinking and praying it isn't the case.
Tell you what you're doing, if you're Murali Vijay or Shikhar Dhawan, you're keeping a very close eye on two things in that shot there. The one left there and the one right in the middle of the shot here now. That clock. You're waiting for that to get to 10 to 6. Once it gets to 10 to 6, that will be stumps, you won't be batting.
New commentators come in and they continue the charade.
What is there? What have we got left? 23 minutes of play. If he declares at the end of this over, he's going to probably have 13 minutes, 11 minutes, so he'll probably have 2 or 3 overs.
Now it's worth noting what Michael Clarke is doing at this point. Sitting there in his shorts, happily applauding. Come on, Clarkey, Warnie says you're about to declare. But Warne can't keep the pretense going any longer.
I was probably getting too late for a declaration now.
But even this isn't enough to stop Channel 9. They have one last ace to play, a viewer's verdict. And just have a look at that. 40% of Australians think Clarke should declare. Nine's nonsense has paid off. Finally, Warne closes the discussion once and for all.
Should Australia declare now? Well, there's only 3 minutes to go. They'd only get 1 over it if they declare now. So this over's starting, that's it. Australia batting through to stumps now.
Thus confirming what was obvious to all of them the whole time. Now, lastly, DRS. The lack of DRS in this series was always going to be a talking point. And here is one of the more controversial incidents when Rohit Sharma was given not out to Nathan Lyon.
The start was aggressive.
Let that go. You don't want to let too many go.
On Eagle Eye, it shows that the ball would have gone on to hit the stumps, but that the middle of the ball wasn't hitting the lower edge of the bail, and so it would have remained not out. Shane Warne's one of the best commentators, and his analysis was interesting. Initially, this is what he said.
The only thing for the umpire is that it's a bit of guesswork, hitting pretty full. There wasn't enough time for him to see it pitch and then go on probably, so he had to give the benefit of the doubt to the batsman.
But then we get an insight into Warnie's competitive drive, and he simply invents a new law.
I want to have another look at that one. You're not playing a shot, I reckon you lose the benefit of the doubt. When you pad up, you lose the doubt that should have been given. When you pad up and you don't lose your bat, you lose all that benefit of the doubt whatsoever.
Maybe it should be true, but it isn't. If a batsman pads up, he certainly doesn't lose the benefit of the doubt. And Michael Slater, another excellent commentator, also then makes a mistake.
Yeah, and with a review, if DRS was being utilised in this test match, I'm sure Australia would have challenged that and they would have got it.
No, they wouldn't have. It would have stayed with the on-field umpire's call. So the point of all this is to say, if even very, very good cricket commentators can get confused by this, what hope is there for the average fan? Well, here's how I think it will end up. In the not too distant future, it'll be like runouts and stumpings. All LBWs will be referred to Hawkeye, and even if it's just clipping the stumps, that'll be sufficient, you'll be out. And you know what? The game will be a lot better for it. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, that would be great, or follow me on Twitter at IndiaInOz. The next test match starts tomorrow at the Gabba. It should be a cracker. Hope you enjoy it.